Welcome to the Magnet and Electric Current Lab Instructions. This instructions is for pages 216 and 217 in your textbook. This information will help explain what you are supposed to do in order to get the data you need for this project. According to the directions, the first thing you're going to do is make a table, like the one in your textbook. This will be where you record all of your observations during your experiment. To insert a table into a Microsoft Word document, if you're using Word 2007, you're going to first go up to Insert, and then find Table. Click on Table, and in order for you to make one like is in your textbook, you're going to need a 2x5 table. You'll insert the table, and it'll make it for you. And then in order for you to change the colors, you have some choices at the top here. You can change it to make it look however you'd like. And the one in your book, well, we'll make one like this. Okay, in the very first line, we're going to put situation, and you hit the Tab key, Effect on Compass. Then we need to include the bar magnet nearby. We need current carrying wire. We'll need magnet, moves in coil, and coil moves past magnet. Now you can kind of play around with this a little bit and change your layout. You can make this centered. And there you go. Now you have a table into Microsoft Word. Now if you're using Word 2003, it's very similar. I believe it is Insert, Table, and then you have to actually choose how many parts you want to your table. And if you're using OpenOffice, it's Table, Insert Table. Your next step is to test to see what the effect of a magnet is when it's placed near the compass. This is a compass similar to the one that you received with your supplies. Notice that the red end of the compass is pointing to the north. If you bring the south end of the magnet towards the compass, the north end of the compass is attracted to the south end of the magnet. This is because we know that opposites attract one another. On the other hand, when you bring the north end of the magnet towards the compass, the north end of the compass wants to be repelled from the north end of the magnet, so it moves in the opposite direction. Now you're going to test to see how a current carrying wire affects the compass. In order to make the battery pack, you're going to need 2 batteries of the same size. Tape the batteries together so that the negative end of the top battery is touching the positive end of the bottom battery. You're also going to need to tape your wire to the top of your compass in the same direction that the needle is pointing. Then you're going to connect one end of the wire to the positive end of the battery and the other end of the wire to the negative end of the battery. This will complete the circuit. Make sure to record any observations you see into your data table. Finally, you're going to test the effect of a magnet and a coil on the compass. Following the directions from the textbook, you're going to take one wire and wrap it around 3 fingers, tape it together so that you have a coil. The other wire you're going to wrap a few times around the compass and tape it down so that it stays in place. Then you're going to connect the coil to the compass. You may need to use tape to connect your wires, and follow the rest of the directions in your book using a magnet and using the coil. Make sure you record your observations in your data table. When you finish collecting all of your data, make sure that you answer the Conclude and Apply questions on page 217. After you have completed your entire experiment and collected all of your data, you need to write your lab report. In your lab report, you need to include the following information: your heading, which includes your name, date, class, which is science, the unit and lesson number, a hypothesis about what you thought was going to happen in the experiment, your data, which includes the data table that we made at the beginning of this video, and finally your conclusion. And in the conclusion, be sure to include the conclude and apply questions from the textbook. Thank you for joining me today. I hope that everything that we've gone over in this video has helped you to understand what you're supposed to do for this experiment. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me anytime at the number on the screen.